Well, hi there, folks. This is Justin from CartoonSmart.com, and today I thought it'd be fun to bring out a little guest instructor slash welcome house guest that is going to show you guys how to work with Sprite Kit and Swift, and he feels that he learned enough from me that he can teach it back to you guys. So again, let's just look at some of the basics, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but Cleavon, you want to take over and sit where I'm at? Hey, shove over, man. Okay. All right, everybody. Yeah, so thanks for letting me borrow the computer, by the way, sitting in the master's kind of throne here. Let's do something other than just look at this game icon. We are in Xcode now, and we want iOS or tvOS application. Doesn't really matter which one. In fact, let's call the project does not matter at all. How about that? Really emphasize that you can be learning Sprite Kit and Swift for iOS or tvOS. Does not matter. See, there it is. All right. So, but when you get over here, what you want to do is you got two main files that you're going to want to pick on. Okay. Don't worry about the game view controller. Then just let that thing do what it's got to do. App delegate. Don't mess with that either. In fact, what you could do is you could select both of those, and that, and that, and that actually too, and that, and just group them together. New group from selection. Worry about it later, right? So now we've kind of focused in on just the stuff that matters for us, which is going to be our Swift file where we're going to write all the code, and our scene file where we can lay out whatever you want to lay out for your game. You know, Cleavon's great game. You know, if that was it, we would be I don't know what we'd be doing. Bagging groceries. I do kind of like that. All right, so let's get rid of everything in this the game scene, that Swift file that we know that we don't need for right now. This is all stuff that just got thrown in here for us, and we're gonna focus in on just some kind of raw data types. All right, basic variables. And in Swift, you got a couple neat ways of doing this. What you can do is if you know that your variable is never going to change, right? What you want to do is you're going to put it here let. And then, for example, my name is, doesn't matter, you can make that in the phrase it in the form of a question, and then you're going to put over here string, like a string of characters, you know, on a string kind of. And you can have any old character on a string. You can wear it around your neck like a, you know, some sort of fancy gold jewelry, and then put in here that, you know, so I know my name's never going to change. It's going to be Cleavon, right? Sometimes I spell it no cap because caps are off in my world, baby. Caps are always off. All right, so Cleavon, and then that's never going to change. I can't mess with that thing after the fact, right? So it is kind of a variable, but not in the sense that it's a variable that the value can vary, right? Okay, if you want to do that, then you're going to go over here and say var, and then my ride is. Or maybe even better, my ride has stayed the same for a while. My job is, I tend to change jobs quite often. So we're going to say string, and that's going to equal, right now, do a little Ubering, bag boying. So we'll put bag boy, like at the supermarket. I'm not too proud of that, but it's fulfilling at times. I like putting, you know, organizing things and whatnot. Milk in one thing, eggs in another. So now what we can do is tinker around a little bit in the did move to view statement. So let's go over here and just in our touches began. If you did try to say my name is equals Cleavon again, all right, watch what happens. Nothing. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it picked up on it that Cleavon made a mistake. That let is a constant. That means it cannot change. But if I come over here and I say my job is, that can change daily. Sometimes twice daily. So let's just make it equal something else, right? You know, sign spinner. Done that every once in a while. I do that. Sign spinner. Somebody needs, you know, they want to point out that something is on sale or something like that. You've seen those guys, right? Yeah, I've seen them. It looks fun. They spin, yeah. Yeah, it's good. You learn how to spin quick. I'll tell you that, man. At first, like 20 minutes, you were dropping that sign a lot. And I'm just going to build it to just kind of, I didn't even give us any feedback to see if we could, here, watch this. We got to put in here, print, my job is, and then that's going to tell me that my job is no longer bag boy. Okay, so, here, even more to the point, print out what my job is right away. And then over here, what we're going to do is say, Cleavon job is now ... That means you're going to continue that kind of thinking. It means nothing in code. That's just real life stuff. All right, so my job is sign spinner. So we change the variable and then we just print it right back out again. And yeah, per what I was just about to say, man, you get good at spinning those signs. I could do pancakey type flips or spin it and then stop it without it dropping. All right, so here we go. I'm going to click down and look at that. Cleavon job is now sign spinner. So at one point I was bag boy, no longer bag boy, now spinner. Okay, another type of variable type we can put over here, var, and then days at job, make that an integer. And well, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to go in whole numbers like this. You can't just throw in like 1.5, okay? And you'll see, right, it picked up on it. Didn't do a good job, it did a good job. I didn't do a good job if it was 1.5 days. That means I lost half that day probably to sleep or getting fired. If you did want to do a half day at a job, what you could do is put in here a float, right, and then put in here 1.5. There's another type called a CG float. Sometimes you use that for positioning things in the program, but if it's just going to be a number, you just want to tell people that you didn't make it all the way through, or maybe you made it like most of the way through and then you had to just go pick up some kids or something like that. Mom didn't tell you they were leaving soccer practice or something like that. So there you go, 1.75. And now if you want to print that out, well, we've already seen that. What we could do though is say, let's say print, and then in parentheses again, Cleavon made it through, let's say backslash, and then in quotes, no, I'm sorry, you do parentheses, right? Yep. Okay, and then you finish off with a quote. So a lot of times in programming, you kind of bookend things. That's the right term. So you do that thing, and then you finish it off over here. And the same thing with this parentheses right in here. So we do that slash, and then in the parentheses, we're going to put back out days at job, right? Put that right in there. And if it turns green, that means it's going to turn into something else when we build this up. But there is one last little thing that we got to do here. We got to close off. See, like what I was just saying a moment ago, opening parenthesis and then the closing parenthesis. And now we should be good to go. Actually, it would be kind of fun before we even test this out. Let's subtract, or no, let's add a little bit to it. So we'll take days at job, right? And then we're going to say equals days at job plus 0.7555. I can't see right today. Okay, my eyes are a little blurry, man. Probably blurry because you made me clean your bathroom with all that bleach and everything. Made them all sting. But I appreciate you letting me stay the night. All right. Okay, so I'm going to click down here. Cleavon job is now sign spinner, and Cleavon made it through 2.5. I didn't really finish that thought now, did I? Cleavon made it through days at job, right? Just throw that back in there. And there you go. You got it. So that's some really, really basic data types. If we want to learn some other stuff, I guess just hold on, and you're going to let me teach a little bit more. Did I do a good job? Yeah, it was good enough. It's not really how I would have taught it, but you bring a lot of stuff in here that happens to you in your real life, which I don't tend to do that often. I wouldn't mention that I don't make it through most days at a job. But you know, that's cool. Hey man, it's just I'm being real over here. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with your stuff, is you're not real enough. You know what? I'm gonna hit pause on this, and then we're gonna talk a little.